I am recording. What are you looking for?
Just wanted to see where the link was.
Down?
Just make sure everybody can see it.
Right there.
Oh, there it is. Got it.
Should be good.
Yeah, all good.
Okay.
Hi, everybody. We're going to get started. I know there's a few people who's going to pop on here later, and of course, we're going to post the video so that everybody can see it a little later on.
Well, thanks for joining us, whether you're joining on replay or joining live. We are going to share.
Oops, sorry. Got it.
Nope, it's still on. There you go. Okay. Technical difficulties. We're good now. We're going to share tonight about the starter kit and some uses for it, as well as some other rollerball recipes. And we have actually some recorded testimonies, as well as a couple people who are going to hop on and share their testimonies tonight. So that's really cool. We haven't done that before. And yeah, so we're just going to share a little bit about our stories, and then we'll get going. This month I've been with Young Living for 3 years, so this is my 3-year anniversary, and I got started. A friend took me to a class with her when we could do them in person, and I fell in love with the community, the people. I really loved the just how welcoming everybody was, how friendly they were. I knew very, very little about anything essential oils back then. I knew like peppermint oil, and that was it. And it was funny because I actually bought just a single peppermint oil from a friend, and I'd never even opened it. Like I thought it was cool, but I never opened it because I didn't really know how to use it. And so I got my kit, and I went home and I opened my other peppermint that night too. And I started using them, and I just had so many wins with them. I had headaches all the time, and I started getting rid of my headaches with peppermint. Stomach aches, I was able to get rid of those, and I was just using less and less Advil. I used to probably take Advil every second day, and I was just using less, so not as hard on my stomach or liver or anything like that. And then was it that year I got pregnant? Sorry, the end of that year I got pregnant. Sorry, yeah. So I got pregnant with my son the fall of that year, and that was really awesome because we'd already switched out a lot of the toxins in our home to kind of natural cleaners, like the natural cleaners that Young Living has, as well as switched them out with oils. I just wasn't using as much of that stuff. And so that was really, we were really thankful for that already. And then we just continued on from there. So now my son's 1.5 years old. He has never had to use Tylenol or Advil. We've always been able to use oils. I'm not against using it if I need to. I just haven't had to, because we've always been able to like use peppermint for fevers or Copaiba for teething pain. So stuff like that has been really neat for us. So yeah, that's why I love it so much, and it's been so great for us.
So I guess for me, I started on Young Living maybe a couple months after you did. I think I was probably Lauren's first share. And the whole company just made sense to me. But I think I was really afraid of the oils. I didn't know how to use them. I didn't realize that, you know what, just try, just get started. And that was kind of once I started to do that, and I started to play around with, you know, this oil and that oil, and doing classes like this and learning about what I could use them for was my biggest win. And I think it was only in the last few months that I really felt like, you know what, I'm not afraid to mix things. I'm not afraid to try a blend of my own and see how that works. And I certainly did a mixture for Jake, and I really found that it worked well for him. And then you start to feel comfortable with playing with the oils, and when you start to have wins with them, and you just have one day where you don't have to take a medicine, or you don't have to use a Tums because you can use a Digize or those things, then you feel like, I can do this. I can play with these things, and I can figure out what's going to work for me. So I'm in love with what these can do. And when we share them with somebody and they have a win, with them and they feel better and healthier and happier, it just makes me realize that there is so much out there that people can learn about Young Living oils and what they can do for us. So, yeah.
So fun. So we are going to dive into this kit, and you'll hear the banging in the background, Jen. That's my brother repairing the roof. Anyways, so this is the starter kit that Young Living has put together for, specifically, this is the Canadian Young Living starter bundle. So this one is $199. That's what all the starter kits are. And this just pretty much, it covers everything. That's why I love it so much, is it has something for everything, and it's the best way to get started and just like dive in and figure stuff out. So it comes with this, and then you get a diffuser with it too, which we'll show you after. But Young Living is the reason I love this company above any other like essential oils company, is just because of how much research and like development they've put into their oils, as well as the promise and the guarantee that comes behind them. So this company isn't new. It's 26 years old, and when they started, there was not any regulations for essential oils. There still isn't a lot of regulations, but they're getting a little bit better. But they put in a seed to seal guarantee, which means that they back everything from the soil that those plants are in all the way to bottling it. So the soil that they use is all virgin soil. They don't use pesticides, herbicides. They actually, on their farm in France, they use sheep to weed the farm, the lavender farm, because they don't touch the lavender plants. Stuff like that. It's really, really cool. They pick the weeds by hand, and they don't use machines as much as possible. So that's also awesome. And then like when they distill it and bottle those, they test them multiple times, and they actually use third-party testing. So it's not just in-house testing, and they are backed. A lot of their oils are backed by Health Canada. So they send them to Health Canada for testing as well. And not just their oils, but a lot of their health products, like their vitamins and all that kind of stuff, they've got backing by Health Canada, along with their hand sanitizer, which I love. So that's why I choose Young Living over any other company. As well, they own their own farms, or they partner with their own farms, so they aren't buying their products and not knowing where they come from. So yeah, and this, we're gonna open this up and dive in. So this is what it looks like when you open it up. It needs like little butterflies that fly out, or confetti when you open the box. So it comes with 11 oils, and it also comes with a few goodies underneath, which we'll show you afterwards. So the first one is Purification. So Purification smells amazing. It's so good for getting rid of those yucky smells in your house, diffusing in the kitchen after you've cooked like fish or anything you don't want to smell anymore, stinky gym socks, hockey gear, you make a little spray and use it with that. So good. So that one is a must-have.
Even heard of somebody using some of those little felt pads, and you can put some drops of that on and stick them inside of an area, like in your underneath your sink where your garbage cans are, or under the lid of your garbage can, and you can just get rid of all those smells that way. So just keep reapplying a drop or two every few days or every week, whatever it needs.
Also for like earaches and bladder infections, Purification is awesome. So you can take a little bit, rub it behind your ears, and that helps get rid of the earache, as well as like I've heard of people with bladder infections just taking and rubbing some on where it hurts, and it'll get rid of that pain and help reduce the bladder infection, make it go away actually. So that's really cool. Next one is RC. So RC is great for clearing airways. So good in the summer when we have the smoke. I know Jen just got back from her workout and she uses it. She told me she's out for a walk, but I know you use it for pre-workout to help open up the airways. So good for that.
Great diffusing too, for that purpose. So
we have a couple people on our team who've used it to help with asthma. So I know Gloria's little girl, she actually doesn't have to use her inhaler anymore. I'm not saying throw out the inhaler, but like it's great to use before you have to go for the inhaler just to help open those airways and clear that out. Awesome one to have on hand. So the next one we're going to do is lemon. I love the smell of this one. So lemon is a happy oil, and I actually asked Jen to hop on here tonight and just share a little bit about her wins with lemon as well as some other stuff. So I don't know if you want to like share right now, Jen.
Yeah. So hi, I'm Jen Burton. I am a dental hygienist. So I know Lauren through dentistry. We were working together in Salmon Arm for a period of time. So I got started with the oils because I was struggling a lot with emotional, I needed emotional support basically. I was struggling with anxiety and depression. And at the time, and lemon, which Lauren has just mentioned, was one of the oils that really helped me, along with frankincense, to use them daily, making sure that you're getting them on you or at least inhaling them. We have a naturopathic neuroscientist, Dr. Corey Deacon, that's actually done brain studies on our Young Living essential oils and actually has like done mapping to see what actually happens when you inhale lemon oil. And it was, I think within 66 days of inhaling it, it actually created a new neural pathway in the brain that he labeled as a happy neural pathway, which was actually more effective than some of the leading stuff on the market for the similar things that I was dealing with. So for me, I was already hesitant to go on some of the medications that the doctor was recommending, just because I know that they're very addictive and all that kind of stuff. And I did go on them for a period of time and I struggled with that. So instead of being happy or being sad, I was just kind of in this dull, like no emotion state, which to me, I'd rather feel emotions, whether they're sad or happy, than not at all. So I didn't personally have a good experience with them. So I turned to the lemon and the frankincense because of the science that was backed by them. And yeah, I had amazing results. I'm no longer on, well, all of the things that I was on beforehand. And I have to thank lemon and frank for sure for that. Frankincense, actually, for me, I put it on my skin because it's really good for fine lines and wrinkles. But for me too, an added bonus is it actually helps personally not hear as much like negative self-talk in my head, because I know we all have it, like the feelings of unworthiness and all that kind of stuff. Like the more I'm actually consistent with using frankincense on my face, the more I actually don't get that like negative self-talk as much. So, I mean, frankincense on its own too, which I'm sure they're going to talk about, has over like 100,000 uses. And lots of them do have a lot to do with like calming down the limbic system part of your brain so that you're not in fight or flight mode as much. So yeah, those two oils in the kit for sure for emotional support, as well as the Northern Lights Black Spruce that comes as an addition in the kit, is massive for like grounding and just really like settling down any anxious feelings that you might have or nervousness. Or I mean, we're all dealing with a lot of stuff with COVID right now. So thank goodness I've had this stuff for emotional support. This one's actually a tree oil too. So yeah, I love all of them.
Thanks for sharing. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
no problem.
love your story, and it's so true. Like with COVID and all the anxiety and stress that goes along with it right now, thank goodness for these just to help with emotional support because it's been so helpful. Yeah, so lemon is definitely a huge one. I just feel like so uplifting when I diffuse it. If I ever feel like a little bit in the morning, I'm feeling like not super motivated or anything, I always diffuse that one. Another great calming one is our next one, lavender. So lavender, so good for calming. I use this one at night when I need to just like wind down and go to sleep. You guys use it a lot
Yeah,
too.
we use it in a blend with a couple others, and we'll definitely talk about that blend a little later on. But it's awesome for going to sleep and staying asleep. So
we're actually hoping Jake will pop on and share. He's just driving back from Vernon right now. So he's had a lot of wins with sleep and everything. Yeah, skin too. So good for skin. Acne, any of that.
healing.
lavender healing.
Healing,
Yeah,
cut or-
cuts, bruises, all that kind of stuff. Healing,
Burn.
so good. Burns, definitely. Next one is peppermint. So peppermint was a huge one for me for headaches, and I actually have a fun little testimony to share. Let's see if I can make my technology work right now. So let's see here. My grandma actually shared a testimony with us today, so we're gonna share that with you guys. And we couldn't get her to hop on, but I can see if I can do this. Let's see if this works. Okay. It's my first time doing this. There we go. Okay, work phone. You can do it. There we go. Let's see. Volume. Maybe. Nope, volume does not want to work. I just had it working and now I can't get it to work.
We tried it before we got on.
Oh my
here, and
goodness.
it definitely worked. So
Okay. Well, my phone doesn't like me. I just had it working too. That's funny. Okay, that's all right.
So what Lauren's grandma was sharing is her new favorite oil, and it is definitely the peppermint. She has suffered from quite a few headaches, and maybe we'll get it working still, but I'm going to talk about the background of her story a little bit. She relied a lot on Tylenol. She can't use Advil because she's on blood thinners, and that further thins the blood. So she really had to be careful of that. But she also has some pressure behind her eyes because of actually a tumor there. And so she suffers from a lot of headaches, and she uses peppermint on a daily basis. She does put it on her temples. She does use it on the back of her neck, and if it's really bad, she'll use it sort of up in the hairline. And I think she was kind of alluding to that. You guys saw a little bit of her video. And she can, in 10 minutes, she can have a headache completely gone. When she was using any pain medications or even some further stronger medications that were prescribed to her, she said it never really took the headache away. So she said with peppermint, she just is able to totally get rid of it. And because she's on so many other medications, she knows the toxins that she's putting in her body because of her heart and her other health conditions. She just feels if she can take one less drug every day, then it helps those other ones work better. And she said to me, I think in the month of December, I think she went the whole month with ever having to take anything other than just peppermint for her headaches. And she said early on in January, I think she used one Tylenol, and that was it.
Yeah.
So otherwise she can completely get rid of all her headaches. So huge win for her. She loves it so much that she ordered a bottle this month, and then she told me, get me another one. I can't go down to the last bottle. I have to have a bottle on the shelf. So she feels that much pressure to make sure that she's got that extra bottle around. So
yeah, she loves the peppermint. It's so good.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's her wins with peppermint. The next one is Panaway. Panaway is huge for muscle aches and pains. Great like post-workout to get rid of those aches and pains. Also good in the bath. So if you ever have a bath with oils, make sure you put like some Epsom salts, drop some oils in the Epsom salts and then put it in, because oil and water won't mix. So you want to do that first. But yeah, just so relaxing in the bath and helps relax those muscles. I know Graham had some wins with this one too.
Yeah, she had a little bit of a knee problem. She'd actually been for an ultrasound on it. They determined through x-rays and ultrasound that her knee is completely shot, but because of her age, she wasn't going to be able to have any knee replacement. And she was using Panaway and Copaiba and mixing those together and putting them on her knee. She got it to the point where she was feeling less pain, and she was able to get up and start moving it and doing some basic physio exercises. And now she's up to walking over 1 kilometer a day. So great win there too. So
Yeah, definitely. I just want to jump back to lemon, lavender, and peppermint. So those three together are an awesome antihistamine. So if you have any like allergies, I know they're great for the summer when you have the seasonal allergies, but I'm still have like allergies to dogs, horses, that kind of stuff. So if I ever feel that flare up, I usually take a drop of those, like one drop of each, and rub it on, or I'll mix it together and I'll ingest it. I feel comfortable ingesting these oils because because they're 100% pure. I know Jen feels the same way too. But also Young Living has oils that have, it's called a what, like they're plus oils. So they have a white label. In Canada, they have to have two different labels if they say topical and ingest. So it's the same thing in both those bottles. It's just different labels. So
Young Living believes if it's good enough to go on the skin and it's consumable oil, then it's got to be the same grade for both. So it's going in through the bloodstream, it's going in your body the same way. So it's got to be good.
Exactly. So yeah, those three awesome antihistamines. So good for that. So Panaway, we just talked about. Copaiba. So Copaiba is the one that is great with Panaway to help enhance it. It's also an anti-inflammatory. I used Copaiba on my son's gums when he was teething. So anything like anti-inflammatory, also really good for like the bags under your eyes, helps get rid of those when you don't sleep. So all that kind of stuff, like puffy skin.
Yeah.
So good.
And it amplifies. So
yes.
Anything that you're mixing it with, it enhances those properties as well. So we also put it into the blend that we use for sleep, kind of to promote that too. So it's one of the three that we put together there. So.
Mm-hmm. Next one is Digize. So this one is the one that made my husband a believer. He totally thought these were snake oil, unicorn, whatever. He did not think they were real or that they worked at all. He's like, oh yeah, okay. You spend whatever you're going to spend on oils and they're not going to work. And then when he had a stomach ache and Digize worked, he's like, oh yeah, give me some more of that. So Digize, anything digestion, so good. Heartburn, like if you have an upset stomach, if you can't go to the bathroom, going too much.
Just a couple drops or a roller ball right on the top of the bottle and rub it right on where the pain is coming from. And I've suffered at work for an hour with a stomach ache, and then, put some Digize on, and within 10 minutes, it's gone. And you wonder, why did I suffer so long with something like that?
I know,
it's such a simple fix. So
yeah, definitely. So that's probably one of my most like go-to ones. I always have to have that on hand just in case. The next one is frankincense. So
share the video of holding it up.
Yeah, I'm gonna try it again because
so we have another friend of ours that this is absolutely her favorite oil is frankincense. And as Jen alluded to, there are so many uses for it, and she has found multiple uses. She's a very active person. She works right now super hard because she's a janitor in the school system, and she puts on so many kilometers every day, and she's around so much germs because she's in an elementary school. So here's her share if Lauren can get this going.
Let me
explain how you use it on your feet, but how you're also using it daily. I use it every morning, and I start off, I put it on my forehead, my cross, and then I put it on my temples, and then I put it down the bridge and down the nose, and then I put some behind each ear. I put on there, back of the ear there, and then I rub it down my neck, and then that clears my head. Sinuses or anything cold or anything is absolutely gone. So it really does wonders. It just takes the fog right out of my head. So it works really well. Great way to start the morning then. Yeah, and then I put a dab on, I put a drop on each of my feet. Yeah. And on the archway there, and it works like no tomorrow. Yeah, it works really well. So when you weren't using it on your feet and you're walking all day, you would have pain in your feet, or? Yeah, they'd be really sore, and so the arch was really acting up on it. So then I just took it. I just kept putting it on. Every day I put it on. The feet just aren't sore. When I put it on now, the soreness is taken right away from them. Yeah. So it was really, really well.
Would you have sore feet in the morning even if you weren't using it? Like after resting all night?
Yeah, resting all night.
All right.
So the one thing that Connie did share with us is she actually, on her Fitbit or her watch, she actually tracks and she walks 13 kilometers every day at work. So that's kind of how much she's doing. And no matter how good her shoes were, her arches would just ache all the time. And when she woke up in the morning, they'd still be aching. So that's when she started using frankincense on just the instep of her foot. And she says she feels great. So
Yeah, that's so cool. So her huge win with frankincense, and like this one's, I feel like is my go-to if I don't know what to use. Frankincense has over like 13,000 uses, I think, if you look on PubMed now. So it has so many uses. It's so good. Skin is such a huge thing, and then just overall wellness with frankincense. Do your research, but Frank is, yeah, it has some amazing properties. So Jake just got here, so we're gonna make him share his wins with some oils that he uses for sleep.
Hi everyone. So Tracy suggested I should use some oils for sleep, and I thought, oh, this is gonna work. You put it where, right? But amazing using Northern Lights black spruce and cedar wood and lavender and copaiba. I put that on my big toes every night. And yeah, like I sometimes joke, boy, I better make sure I'm in bed before I put this on, because I might just pass out right there. It actually doesn't work quite like that, but when I do fall asleep, I fall asleep I have a very restful sleep. So much better than I used to. I used to wake up and then I would be staring at the ceiling. So it's great. It's a good win.
Thanks for sharing.
Nice. So I just mix it in a roller ball for Jake, and I mix it, I do 10 drops of lavender, 10 drops of Northern Lights black spruce. I do 5 drops of copaiba and 5 drops of cedar wood. And then I top it up with the Young Living V6 oil. And so he just gets in bed and he rolls it on the bottom of each big toe, and he kind of breathes a little bit in, and I swear within 2 minutes, I can hear him breathing his little snorry breathe. He's gone, he's asleep. And even if he wakes up in the middle of the night, he goes back to sleep so quickly. And that's what he said. He used to be awake for a long time in the middle of the night, and now he just goes, he doesn't even remember how long it takes. He's just back to sleep right away. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, so awesome. So the thing with like putting on your big toe, which I totally thought was woo-woo at the start too. Yeah, totally. But everything's connected in your body. So your feet have a lot of reflexology. It's all your reflexology points, and the big toe is actually connected all the way up to the brain stem. So when you're putting on your big toe, it's getting all the way to your brain, and that's why that works so well. And your feet are such a good place to put oils, especially when you're starting out too, because they don't have that skin sensitivity like some of the rest of your body does. So that it just gets all through your body by putting it on your feet, or diffusing too. It's amazing how fast when you diffuse, everything gets
It just
to your
calms
bloodstream.
the mind and stops the mind from racing so much, so that you are able to relax and drift off to sleep a little bit better. Yeah.
So the last one in the top layer is Thieves. Thieves is, I love the smell of it.
I do
It's got lots, like some clove, and what else is in there? I can't even remember.
Oh,
I don't memorize
should've
these
kept that
things.
list.
Anyways, it is the basis of all of our cleaners. So it is an antibacterial, antimicrobial. It helps me with my immune system, boosting, just giving it that boost when I need it. So if I feel like I have something coming on, yeah, it smells like Christmas, no kidding. So if I feel like I have something coming on, I just roll this on the bottoms of my feet, and it just gives me that boost that I need. I diffuse it just to clear the air in the house. It's so good for all that stuff. And the recipe for Thieves, or the basis for it, is actually in a museum in France, because it traces back to the plague, when spice trade workers were using this blend so that they could rob the dead and the dying, and then they wouldn't get sick because they'd wrap their faces with this blend of cloves and spices, and it would protect them. So that's where it traces back to, and that's where Gary Young found the basis for it when he started off. Oh, Monica said she uses it at work. Nice. That's such a good use for it.
I do too. I that's all we clean with at work too. So
yeah,
we use it, and and we do all our cleaning. Our counters, we wipe them all down with that. So, and then the other one we use at work exclusively for my staff is the hand sanitizer.
So this hand sanitizer comes in the bottom layer of your kit, and it lasts for so long. You really just need like a little pea-sized drop of it. It is backed by Health Canada, and the alcohol that it uses is a peppermint alcohol instead of the like runoffs from distilleries or the harsh alcohol that you find in a lot of the hand sanitizers.
So you'll actually find that when you use it, instead of drying out your hands, it actually is almost like a moisturizer to your hands. I feel like my hands are softer. I love the smell on them when I can smell it later. Whereas the stuff that you'll find in the grocery stores that they want you to use, your hands absolutely stink after using that stuff. So I take that little bottle and I go to the grocery store with it. So
always carry it with me. And then you get the 11th oil in the bottom. So that's the one that Jen mentioned before and Jake mentioned, the Northern Lights Black Spruce. This one's amazing for grounding, skin, sleep, relaxation. It's such a good oil, and it smells like you're in a forest. It's probably one of my favorite smelling oils of any of them. It just smells so good. I love diffusing this one too.
It's the one oil that I think most guys enjoy the smell of right away.
Yeah.
I love that smell.
And it actually helps boost testosterone levels in men and women. So in men, it will help up your testosterone levels, and in women, it'll just help balance them out, because we do need that as well. And then you also get some little share bottles, like a 10-pack of these. I use them if anybody ever asks me like to try one. I don't sell single oils. I will give them a few drops in here for them to try first. And then the kit is always an amazing way to start, because I don't think, like, if you get a single oil, it doesn't change anything, but the kit will change so much for you. And then you get these little share cards you can give them. And then you also get this awesome juice. We used to call it a juice before. So this is Ningxia Red. This has saved me more times than I can count. It is a daily thing, and it is a necessity in our house.
It's my absolute turning point with my health was based on that. So I'm 100% sold. I will never stop using that product. It gave me back all my energy that I had lost, and it gives you that uplifting, happy feeling. It gives you optimism. It's phenomenal.
Yeah. So Ningxia is a wolfberry puree. It's not just the juice, so it's a puree, so you get all the goodness of it. It's an antioxidant drink, and it helps boost energy. It will help with heart health. Safe. I know my dad uses it. He has diabetes. It's safe for diabetics because it's not like loaded with sugar. It's just all natural. So it's super good for everything. It's just a whole body wellness.
It does have some essential oils in it as well. And we all know that the essential oils allow the nutrients to pass through the cell membranes of our body and carry those nutrients better to our body. So our ability to absorb nutrients is so much better when we're using these products. So.
So good. So yeah, that one, when I was pregnant with my son, that saved me energy wise. And I notice when I don't take my Ningxia, my mood is not as good as it usually is. So I am better able to cope when I take it. I'm just overall healthier and happier when I take my Ningxia. And it's 1 to 2 ounces morning and night. So I usually do 2 ounces in the morning because I'm lucky if I can remember to take it twice a day. So I do 2 ounces in the morning.
I often will use it in the afternoon. I won't take it in the evening because it gives me all that energy, and that's probably not when I want it. But in the afternoon, like at 3 o'clock, when you feel like, oh, am I going to make it through the day? It gives you that extra little pick-me-up that I can come home. I feel like I've got enough energy to make dinner and do some other things around the house, and then I can kind of wind down from there with diffusing some oil. So yeah.
And then the last thing you get in the starter bundle is you get this little roller ball. It's a metal one. They're really nice. You can actually get more from Young Living too. But when I first got it, I just popped it on my peppermint because I use it so much. You can pop it on any of them though. And it's just nice to roll
I love
on.
it on the Digest because I want to just be able to roll that one on where I've got my tummy aches and stuff too. But I bought more of those and I have it on a few of my oils now.
Yeah.
So
Same.
yeah.
So the other thing that you get when you get a starter bundle this month is you actually get a cedar wood. So we were talking about that one before. It's so good for sleep. This one is awesome. You get this one free this month when you get the starter bundle because of the amazing loyalty program that Young Living has. So whenever I have anybody who gets started with Young Living, I always start them on the loyalty program because it's free to start on. It's free to skip a month. If you want to get off of it, that's free too. It's super easy. They don't make anything difficult. And you get free products with it just for getting whatever you need. So there's no weirdness about it like some of those companies. It's just really easy to use, and you get free products and you get points back too to use and buy more free products later on. So I know this month with your points you were able to get like a 6.
I did. With my points this month, I literally placed an order for 8 bottles of Ningxia and a whole bottle of Sulfurzyme, and then I used my credits because every month when I buy my monthly order, I bump it up to the first to place between the 1st and the 5th, and I get a $10 credit, and that paid my freight. So I am getting all of that stuff for free this month, and I still have points left over. So
Yeah, right?
It is cool. They give you back in the very first month that you buy your starter kit, they give you back 10% in rewards points. And by the 3rd month, it pops up to 20%. And that's where I'm at on that account. And that's all what I claimed back. And I have been ordering on that account. It's actually Jake's account. We've been ordering on it for 7 months, and that's what we got for free. So
Yeah.
love it. And every time they send you a new oil to try, what I really like about it is I might not have purchased the oil that they sent me, but because they sent it, I'll give it a try. And I have had some great wins from the free oils that I've got every month. And it's cool.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
It's really cool.
And the cedarwood is one of the ones that Jake puts in his sleepy blend. So here we are. We've got a whole new 15 ml bottle and we're good to go again. So
Yeah, exactly. So I just want to quickly show, like, these are the diffusers. You actually get an option with your oil starter bundle. This one's the Dewdrop, and then that one's the Desert Mist. And they run for 8 or 10 hours, and they have different light options. It's such a good value for the starter bundle because you would normally pay about $400 if you priced all that stuff out individually, and you get it all for $200, so $199. So that's really amazing.
and their diffusers are so good.
Yeah.
Like, I have diffused incessantly with some of them and they last and last. I like having one in each of the different rooms. And over Christmas, I had 2 of them in the living room. I was diffusing my Happy Blend out of one, and then I had a Christmas tree that didn't smell so great. So I was diffusing something there to give me that
Yeah.
grand fir smell. So
Yeah, and
that's
it's
kinda
like
cool.
Jen says, shipped directly to your door, which is amazing right now. You don't have to go out and all the craziness, and you can shop You have your own account, shop on your own account. It's none of that meet somebody in the parking lot to get your stuff. You just place an order whenever you want and it comes right to you. So that's really awesome. The other thing I just want to touch on quick, because I know my time's running out on Zoom, is there is an amazing opportunity that comes with Young Living too. So it's, talk to her, you invited you to this, but right now with all this going on, I mean, who doesn't need an extra couple $100 a month? And you can do it from home, and you're just helping people. You're not selling them stuff they don't need. You're helping people be healthier, and that's what we all need right now. So that is an amazing opportunity that comes with it too.
And when it works so well for you, why wouldn't you want to share it with someone else?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thanks everyone for joining us tonight. And I recorded this, so I will post the replay after. I hope
Thanks,
you all
everybody.
have an awesome evening.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.